Welcome back to Classic Car Garage. Well, our window regulator is working well now, so it's time to tackle the glass. And of course, Daryl is back to help us with that. And Nick, of course, here is to lend a helping hand as well, too. First of all, tell me about this windshield, Daryl. This is about $500, isn't it?
Correct. This is a tinted shaded factory replacement windshield with the correct bugs or logos on this particular windshield.
Okay, and tell me more about the bugs or the logos here, what significance these have.
These particular logos, when Libby Owens Ford, the original makers of this glass for General Motors and Chevrolet, made these, each windshield or each piece of glass had an actual date and a code to it. So in a vehicle like this, we're trying to restore back to the numbers. We look up the production VIN number, the vehicle identification number, off of this vehicle. From there, we then establish within about a week or two period when this car was built at what production plant, and we then date code this glass, backdate it so that this glass would have been made before this car was built as it went down the assembly line, so all those numbers would be correct.
And of course, this is one of the many details that go into a show-winning restoration. If you're going to point judge a car, judges are going to be looking for things like that.
Correct.
Now, we want to handle this, of course, very, very carefully, because if we break it, who knows how long it'll take to get another one like this.
You own it, right?
That's right, you own it. If you break it, you replace it. If I break it, I replace it.
Correct.
So first step here, obviously, is to put it on something that's going to be nice and soft, like this towel.
Yes.
But then it's to go ahead and put the weather stripping around it, and this is a special channeled weather strip, isn't it?
Yes, this is correct. This is made for the windshields on the 5, 6, and 7 Chevys of this particular model, and it has a channel that's manufactured into it so that the stainless windshield trim actually sets down in there and locks in place.
Okay, now you've put the weather strip here actually on the windshield, made sure that it fit around here and it's on there correctly. But before we put all the rest of the stainless on, we want to make sure that the stainless actually fits the windshield frame, don't we?
Correct.
And why do we want to make sure that it fits like that?
Well, occasionally in variations from plant to plant or in body work, sometimes modifications will be done to the body which will prevent this from fitting like it should. So it's pretty recommended when you're in the primer stage of doing the body work that you fit this molding to the windshield and check your fit. That way you can do the modifications before you get to a paint stage.
Okay, let's see if this one fits, by the way. I'm sure that it does. If this did not fit, of course the alteration wouldn't be to the stainless, but it would be to the frame of the car here.
Correct.
And as you can see, this one actually fits quite well there. There it goes. So if that didn't fit, of course, the body person would have to make it fit. But we're lucky in this case because this, of course, was all painted apart there. So now that we know that this fits, next step is going to be to actually put it in the windshield, right?
Correct. And as the seal goes on, I might point out that you want to make sure that the corners, this channel stops about halfway down on the seal. And you want to make sure that you have the point where it stops down about at the bottom of the corner, so that you don't run out, because this slot ends right here. So you just center it up at the corners, right, and then the next step will be to actually put the moldings into the channel and get everything locked in place. These uppers have to be in place as this windshield goes into this vehicle.
Okay, and the lowers are going to go in after the windshield is in the car.
Correct.
Okay, well, I'll let you and Nick go ahead and put that in there.
Part of this assembly includes this center clip, which, as you can see, Nick already had onto the passenger side, the driver's side. So as we do this, you want to have everything fitted into place correctly. They've already been polished, as you can see. And as this particular molding goes down on there, you'll see that it kind of snaps. It'll actually snap down in place. You'll feel it kind of lock down. And when it does that, you know you've got it in the right position. Nick will get it fully seated. And when it's fully seated, we're in a position that we will then begin caulking what they call the pinch weld of the windshield frame area of the car in preparation for actually installing this into place. The next step from here, is that seated, Nick?
That's it.
Okay, she's down, she's nice. You can see that we have nice, clean, tight lines. Everything's in the end, it follows the contour real nice. The next step, we then pull this in. This is an old-fashioned windshield. We pull in the old-fashioned way, and this is, you pull them in with a rope. And what we'll do is we'll flip her up. We'll take silicone in the event we need to adjust the window slightly, and we'll put this rope, which you can see we've used this for hundreds of windshield and back glass installs. We'll install this in the channel here, and that's what this channel's for, and then we'll set it in place after we've caulked it and begin what we call pulling it in.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next step then.
Okay. Nick, you want to give me a hand there? Let's rock her up. On the back. Doesn't matter, just like that so they can see what we're doing. So we've put the windshield up on the top portion, you want to take the center of your rope and you put it at the bottom of the glass, because as we pull this rope out, we need this windshield seal to drop into place on the pinch weld of the car. So what Nick's doing is he's going to work that all the way around the So he'll work one way, I'll work the other, and get that fully seated in there. Now once we get her seated, we'll put liquid spray silicone on there, and it gives you an amount of adjustment just in case she's off just a little bit. We can get it to move from side to side. You want the silicone? Let's do the silicone. So we'll take the silicone here and just take a little bit. It doesn't take a lot.
As Daryl and Nick finish prepping the windshield, we'll take a short break. Stay tuned, there's more Classic Car Garage on the way next.
The windshield rubber is on and the trim is seated here. Next step is to put the strip caulk on. Of course, you're using 3M strip caulk here. And there's actually a little trick to this, isn't there?
Yes, you want to keep this in the freezer, keep it somewhere cold. If you let this get hot or put it out in the sun, it'll stick to you, the car, pretty much everything else it touches.
Too.
So it can be handled now fairly easily, and we'll want to install this all the way around the pinch weld, slightly overlapping. In the event water would slip past the rubber seal, this will stop it from getting into the car.
Okay, let's go ahead and put it on the car there. Another trick, of course, I guess that might help is to have your fingers a little bit wet too, with some water and detergent possibly.
Yes, you can keep your fingers soapy or moist. When the strip caulk is this cool, it's easy to work with. And we'll just start making passes all the way around there.
Of course, there's a fine line between being too cold, because then, of course, it'll break off into little tiny pieces as well, too.
Yes, it can.
So I'll put it in the freezer, but give it a few minutes once it's come out of the freezer in order for it to actually be workable once again. Okay, that looks pretty good.
There we go. Here, we take that. We can actually take that whole page off and give Nick a page of this stuff, and
he can work from the other side.
There we go.
Page for you.
Thank you.
Right down in the corner here, all the way. Yeah, some shops, glass shops, will take and use a liquid like a urethane or something, and it makes an absolute disaster mess if the windshield's ever got to come back out. So this is really what you want to use, is this strip type caulking, so that it
much better solution here.
Yes.
Is this approximately what they would have used from the factory originally?
Yes, there was a very similar product that they had coming out of a gun. It was white in color, but it was a very similar product. And we've taken a lot of windshields out that have never been out before, and they had a white, and they were still actually usable.
After 50 years, that
years.
caulking was still viable.
Yes. Finger's getting old. Okay. There we go. That's about got it right there. Got it?
That's it.
Okay, from there we're ready to install the windshield.
Okay, next step is to put the windshield in, but before we do that, I want to show a couple of pictures here. And if you could explain a little bit about this.
Well, a lot of times when paint and body shops paint a car, they don't take the windshield moldings, whether the top or the front or the back, out of the vehicle. And if you don't take them out and you paint over the edge, and you try and take that windshield molding off, you can see large chunks of paint will actually break away. So my suggestion would be to take a razor blade and just cut a small edge between the painted surface and the stainless, so that you don't have this happen to you when you're replacing the glass.
Right, because this, of course, is going to have to be repaired, and that's just some extra work.
Yes.
So next step is to very carefully take this over and position it in the car, right?
Yes.
The moment of truth has arrived as we install the windshield. We'll take a short break and be right back with more Classic Car Garage. Stay with us.
Okay, you want to see we have the rope hanging down.
Right, from the inside,
Correct, from the inside. And this is called the pinch weld, this area where the strip caulking is. So we're going to get her as close as we can to the center. And where the area where the rope is, it's got to sit right over that area. Now she's just starting to go down in there. You can see you kind of wiggle it back and forth a little bit, and then we'll check and see. Yeah, let's see. Pull up, catch it up. We got a little bit of an edge hanging there. So you want to center the windshield in the opening as close as you can. It obviously won't go down fully in place yet because we've got a rope in there that's in our way. So sometimes you got to get your finger underneath there and make sure. We'll start the slapping process. How are we on the side to side, Nick?
We're even.
We're going to make sure neither one of you have rings on, right?
Yeah, I suggest removing all jewelry. You can make an expensive mistake.
That would be a shame to slap that with a ring on and to break that glass.
Exactly. One of the tools of the trade that we use here is we use a hook tool.
I see.
And we use a plastic spoon. And the plastic spoon, when you're dealing near glass, is a safety thing so you don't chip or scratch the glass. This hook helps me pull the edge of the rubber over the pinch weld as it kind of can hang up. There's a lot of different sharp edges in here.
Okay.
Are we ready, Nick? Okay. So as I pull this rope out, Nick will start slapping it in, and and this edge, as you can see, is coming out up and over the pinch weld.
There you go.
You start slowly pulling this rope out. Go ahead, Nick. Let's see. Hang on. We're caught down here a little bit. It's hung right here. And that's what it'll do. They'll hang up a little bit, right? Easy, easy.
Go ahead and pull the rest of the rope out.
Hang on. There we go. Okay. So I'm pulling this rope out. Go ahead. It's got to go down a little bit. There we go.
You can actually see the windshield move down into where it's supposed to be.
You're right. As we work this down, she'll start coming into place, and you've got to get this seal. There we go. Okay. So she's starting to come into place. I'll work up till about the middle of this side, right there. And we're looking good over here, so Nick will need to go to the other side. She's pulling it pretty nice. Hang on, Nick, we're out a little bit over here. Nice suckers, out of ways. Okay. Okay.
You go ahead and pull the rest of the rope out.
Yeah, she's got to come in though. Hang on. Okay. Go ahead.
Pull the rest of the rope out so it falls down.
Now get this corner in first. Just trying to be a little obstinate right here, but bring it down that corner. Okay.
Okay, pull the rest of the rope out so it drops down.
All right, Nick is putting the last touches there, tightening that last screw in the trim. That looks pretty good, Nick. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Great job on the windshield. I want to thank Daryl and Peggy at D&P Classic Chevrolet in Huntington Beach for showing us how to do the things that they've showed us how to do today. In particular, the window regulators and putting in the glass. When we come right back, we've got your new products, so stay with us right here on Classic Car Garage. Ooh, that looks great. Welcome back to the show. Before we go today, we've got some new products we want to show you. All of these from D&P Classic Chevy in Huntington Beach, California. Take a look at this. This is for your 55 or 56 Classic Chevy. What it is a stock steering wheel with a little bit of a difference to it. I don't know if you can see here or even notice that the diameter of the steering wheel is actually smaller than the stock one. What this will allow for is for you to have a little more leg room getting into the car, but of course you don't need a big steering wheel if you've got power steering, and this steering wheel will do the job for you. This is a beautiful quality reproduction. Retails for about $395. Now take a look at this for your 57 Chevy. This is really going to set things off under the hood. What this is a stainless steel hood hinge, and it's of course very quality made. It's just what you would expect from D&P Classic Chevy. And again, this is something new that D&P is carrying, and it sells for about $375. Now, those of you who know 55, 6, and 7 Chevys know that sometimes there's a cooling problem. Well, let me show you what the stock radiator looks like. Here's one right here. You can see the size of this. This is relatively small. This barely is adequate for cooling the car. Well, D&P has solved that problem with this particular radiator. As you can see, not only does it look great, but it solved your cooling problems. It's a cross-flow radiator. Of course, it's a lot bigger, and it'll fit in any 55, 56, or 57 Chevy. And whether you've got a big block or a small block, this radiator will more than do the job for you. It'll help you keep your cool on those hot summer days and nights of driving your Classic Chevy. Once again, everything from D&P Classic Chevy in Huntington Beach, California. Well, we hope you've enjoyed our show today, putting in the window regulators and the windshield, and we invite you to join us again next time when we continue with the restoration of our 56 Chevy Sedan delivery. Till then, I'm Jeff Shade. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again right here on Classic Car Garage.